Hello guys, and welcome to the second part of useless and useful Limbus facts that you probably already know about, but if you don't, they'll blow your mind. Or not, but they will definitely give you more useless information that you can't even use in your daily life. This time I didn't count how many facts I put in, because some of them are pretty vague to separate, so you can decide for yourself how many there are. 20 or 25, it doesn't really make that much difference. To start off, I'd like to correct one mistake I made in the previous video, where I said that only bleed and burn kills don't count towards the daily mission. So I was wrong. Basically everything that does damage and does not come from directly your attack's raw damage doesn't count either. So Rupture, Sinking, Yellow and Red Tremor Bursts, this doll, yes I checked, and probably many more does not count. And now with that out of the way, we can start. And I'd like to start from the very beginning, when the game didn't even came out. I'm talking about the demo videos that Project Moon uploaded prior to the game's release. I'll take this video as an example, but there are many others, and if I would go through all of them, this video will be much longer. As we can see, 7 Yisang's third skill used to be Lust, Don Quixote's Rip Space used to be Gluttony, and had a coin multiplier instead of a plus coin. Yeah, if you didn't know, there are fully functional coin multipliers coded in Limbus, we just haven't seen them yet, so unbreakable coins can be only the beginning. Kurokuma Radion used to be a negative coin ID. Heathcliff was a lot more useful because he had attack weight on his skill 3 without the 50% HP requirement, and it also had 3 coins instead of 2. And Blade Lineage Otis skill 3 also had a coin multiplier, so as you can see, early development Limbus was very different from the game we have now, and I don't really know why they made Heathcliff so useless compared to his demo version. At the same time, Limbus had a pre-registration campaign where they counted subscribers from Twitter and YouTube and gave us different rewards at launch. Right now, Twitter and YouTube both have over 300,000 subscribers, but back then we only reached about half that number, so we didn't receive Force Match Flame Ryoshu for free. What we didn't receive at all is Corp Gregor, who is still shown on the Limbus page, and a lesser known E.G.O of Force Match Flame Don Quixote. Here it is in better quality. Moving on to release day, there were a lot of bugs. The most famous one is of course 12 fucking Yisangs. I encountered some of them, like the inability to progress the story, this weird thing also with Yisangs, and my favorite of all, Come Heathcliff. That's not really a fact, but I wanted to share it anyway, because some of you are new and might not know about this amazing Heathcliff bug. Okay, I'm done with reminiscing, so let's move on to something more up to date. And the bug that is still in the game and bothered me since launch is Ishmael's base E.G.O that has a slightly bugged animation on PC. You can see these whitish strings that appear here and there. Well, they obviously shouldn't be here. They don't appear in Ishmael promo video and they don't appear on mobile. And first of all, be thankful that my mobile could manage screen recording and Limbus at the same time, and it's just strange that it appears only on PC. I watched other people having the same error, so I can definitely say that this is not a problem unique to me, and it's still in the game. When the one who shall grip skincare hears the whistle, he laughs. In most cases you'll hear the whistle from Corp Faust, but in some Canto 3 stages Cromer also whistles, and he laughs from it too. There is this animation that play when you fight a boss and retrieve a golden bow. They both have some Latin words, and while this literally means this, the boss one is more interesting. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. Proelium Fatale means deadly battle, and Lasiate ognesperance void cetrate means abandon all hope, yehu enter. That's a phrase from Dante Alighieri Divine Comedy, and it inscribed about the gates of hell. You can also see it on Limbus's Twitter page. Oh, and also while recording I found another Latin phrase on Project Moon's YouTube page which says hominem te esse memento, which means remember you are a human. When you clash with an enemy, you can see arrows indicating the clash. But did you know that arrow clash point depends on the predicted result? If result is hopeless, arrows clash closer to the sinner. If it's dominating, the arrows meet near the enemy. Thanks to Colin Salt for this info, I didn't know it myself. Going back to the tutorial dungeon, there are some fun interactions. In our first Pecatulum encounter, the game forces one sinner to roll 6 speed and another to roll 1 to teach about clashing. The funny part is that it can do that to the sinners who can't normally have a speed like that, like here, Faust rolling twice as her usual max speed. You might think that's an oversight, but I just think that our sinners have infinite potential, or they just straight up lying to us about their stats, which is kinda strange to be honest. A well-known fact is that when Corp IDs use their skill tree that rips space in the warp train, the train starts flashing red lights because it's forbidden to rip space inside trains. This also works with wayward passenger E.G.Os. Speaking of those, Otis's wayward passenger E.G.O corrosion has a unique kill animation, which only plays, and you won't believe it, when it kills all enemies. In total, there are 3 E.G.Os with kill animation. Otis's, that you already saw, Awakened Sodaryoshu, and Gregor's Solemn Lament Corrosion. As you know, abnormalities can be killed, and after defeat they just turn into eggs from which abnormalities hatch later. Every egg, except these ones, has some kind of colored crystal inside them. These crystals represent one of the 7 sins: wrath, lust, only one so far, sloth, shit ton of gluttony, gloom, pride, envy, and black and white. Everything seems normal, let's proceed to the next fact. Wild Hunt Heathcliff is the only idea. Okay, I'm joking. Okay, so some eggs have black and white crystals, specifically those from Heart and Bear, Night of Despair, Rose Hunter, Portrait from the Certain Day, and King in Binds. Now, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but some people determined 2 additional sin resistances that abnormalities secretly have. Their name Angst and Mad, probably Madness. So maybe we'll see 2 new sins in Purgatorio when we reach it, but once again that's just a theory and it may be even for something else, or maybe it won't even come up, like multi-coins, which coded in the game but nowhere to be seen. The most dangerous abnormality in each category so far are Fairy Festival, Baba Yaga, Doomsday Calendar, and My Form Empties. The only ones whose risk we still don't know are Pink Shoes and Lego guys. Wild Hunt Heathcliff is the only ID that has 2 stories, one before the 6th canto and one after, and you get lunacy for both, so he's at least 40 lunacy better than any other ID in the game, at least for now. In the previous video I said that most people know how to speed up E.G.O animations, but some still don't. And I was right, several people commented that they didn't knew it. So here's another obvious mechanic: if you hold your mouse on an E.G.O, it will forcibly corrode, using 1.5 more resources than usual. If you have enough resources, the indiscriminate tag disappears, and corrosion will only hit enemies. But if you don't have enough resources, it works normally, meaning that your sinners can be targeted too. All E.G.Os have a voice line, and if you speed them up, the voice line will not match the animation, and in most cases they will end when you already finished the animation. Here is an example. The point is, these phrases will always end, regardless of whatever you're doing. But there is one ego in the game that has multiple lines, and well, it's Queen of Hatreds Don Quixote's ego, and it like has multiple lines and they're skippable, so she'll just cut her lines if you're speeding up this animation, and it works for corrosion too. Well, that's not that interesting. Despite its appearance, Limbus Company is a 3D game. There are some 3D elements that prove it, like for example E.G.O animations with 3D elements, and all battle arenas have this 3D effect when you pull them up and down, and it's not really possible in a 2D game. If you click here, you can see all sinners connected to the mirror world this ID is from. The only sinner who appears more than once is Don Quixote in the world of Lobotomy Corporation. It means that this Don Quixote and this Don Quixote are the same person. But that doesn't mean sinners are required to appear twice, because apparently both Sink Dons are also the same Don Quixote. This dialogue confirms it. So far we know about 3 members of LCCB, Effie, Sod and Pilot. The funny thing is that all their names relate to TV. If you combine Effie and Zod, you get episode, like episode. And an episode can also be a pilot, like this guy. Mirror dungeons slightly represent Tree of Life, like if you put any mirror dungeon and Tree of Life near each other, you can see that they are pretty similar. Some checks in the game have sinner or identity modifiers. For example, Blade Lineage IDs have better odds in Blade Lineage related checks. Who would have thought? On the other hand, sinner modifiers appear mostly in story dungeons. I'd like to think that these modifiers also tell us a story. For example, in one check, Skincare is afraid of corpses and has a negative modifier, while Rudion and Ryushu are used to corpses, so they have better chances regardless of their ID. Okay, this is the last fact, and I think it requires a longer explanation. So here's how this sounds. Sinners have unique death animations when they are killed by certain abnormalities, and all Pekatulas except Envy. Most people don't know about them because, first of all, half of them are broken, and second of all, let's actually see which abnormalities have these unique death animations. Ebony Queen, Doomsday Calendar, False Apple, Spiral of Contempt and Sign of Roses. So 3 out of 5 of them appear in first dungeon, where you are least likely to die. But okay, let's put that aside and actually look at these animations. Ebony Queen looks like this. Doomsday Calendar like this. And then there is False Apple, which should have a special death animation, but it just doesn't. I tried dying from first phase, from second phase, from every attack this thing has, which is not a lot, there are like 5 attacks in both phases, but actually dying from this thing is a lot harder than you think. In conclusion, I decided that this animation is just broken. At least Wiki still has it. I'm sorry if you are reading right now. Spiral of Contempt looks like this, and this abnormality is capable of killing, so you can encounter it in wildlife. And finally, Sign of Roses death animation is also broken, but in a different way. This abnormality spawns 1 rose for each sinner at the start of the fight. In this example, Ardion and Ryoshu both have Envy, and Gregor has Gloom. Roses deal % damage to their tied sinners each turn, and when they die from it, they get a death animation where the rose color matches their sin. And this is the part when it breaks, because why are roses on my sinners black? There is no black sin in the game. Unless... Well, and Pecatulum was also a headache to make tests on, but for different reasons. Because some of them just kill you and you get a normal death sprite, while the same one has a broken death animation and the other one doesn't. I got only 2 properly working animations from Sloth and Pride Pecatulum. Others were just broken, but Sloth and Pride also not that simple to see. Like, look, Sloth Pecatulum kills me, animation plays. Then another Sloth Pecatulum from later stages kills me, and Faust just lies there dead. Why? then Irae Pecatulum kills me and Skincare just vanishes. Fucking Thanos snaps his fingers and Skincare just vanishes to nothingness, where he is. There is no sprite, there is nothing. But in later stages, he dies from the same Pecatulum Irae, and now his corpse just appears without animation. So yeah, that was pretty hard to make tests on. As a bonus fact, you can think that half of these animations are broken, the other ones supposed to look like that. Sorry for bad quality, I could only find them on Reddit and YouTube Shorts. We all meme Project Moon's coding, but this is just bizarre. And apparently Gloom Pecatulum probably doesn't have a death animation, because I haven't seen anyone post it, or maybe it has a death animation and these two sources just didn't put it in. So as you can see, this mechanic is very scuffed, but it's also very cool. Especially it would be cool to see these animations from someone who actually can kill you and not from these guys. Well, and that was all I have prepared for today. This will probably be the last video about Limbus facts, unless I'll make story-related facts, because I tried not to include facts that spoil the game. Keyword is tried, and that will be a separate video for people who already beat the game or at a certain stage of the game. Anyway, so yeah, if you want me to make story-related facts, I don't know, write about it in the comments below to let me know, or something like that. In conclusion, I don't know, let's just kill Sinclair. Yeah.
조각조각 난 기억도 저들을 들여다볼 필요도 없지. 그저 쏘아라. 계속 쏘아라.